Very sorry about the late start, folks. It's a tech thing. It happens sometimes. And, I'm kind of I don't know, I might be having second thoughts about this big overstuffed fake leather chair. It is kind of comfortable. So apologize again for the late start. Couple of announcements, and then I'm going to bring on my very, very special guest. And I want to say that I made a mistake in the presentation last night, and I want to apologize for that. I stated with it right on the screen that in 2004, Darlene Bishop Ministries paid Darlene Bishop $240,000. And then I think like 75 and 80 and 81 or something like that for the other three Bishop children. The figure for Darlene Bishop was incorrect, and I apologize. And it was right on the slide. It's just, it was kind of small print, but it was actually $340,000. So I just wanted to make that correction. And also, all these emails and texts start coming in, and I'm not able to, on such short notice, verify. But evidently, it's alleged. Multiple sources seem to indicate that in 2004, the two Bishop daughters actually didn't live in the state of Ohio, but they got, they were paid by the Darlene Bishop Ministries. Of course, kind of think 2004 was sort of before the whole work at home thing and all of that. But anyway, wanted to make that clarification. It was $340,000, not $240,000. Before we get to our announcement and then to our guest, I just want to look quickly at a portion of Scripture. And this is from 1 Samuel 4. And I'm going to kind of skim read it. Oh, Robin, you're there. There you are. Did I bring my guest in? Hey, well, let's do this, Robin.
Hey, everyone.
This is when I don't like tech difficulties. When something that was working perfect earlier, anyway, it didn't. This is Robin from Mega Maniacs, everybody. Robin, thank you so much for being on.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Good to be here. I know about technical difficulties.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Well, it's with our
Yes.
big budgets and big staff. Even still, sometimes that
Oh, yeah.
happens.
Yeah. We got to
Absolutely.
put our money to better use.
We got to put our money to better use. Absolutely. All the clicks and all the baits and everything. You have some breaking news. I want to go through just a little bit of scripture first, and I'm going to keep you in the window there. But this is from 1 Samuel 4. The Philistines capture the ark. That's the subtitle that this, that in this version has. It's just a subtitle. Then the word of Samuel came to all Israel. Now the Israelites went out to meet the Philistines in battle, camped at Ebenezer, while the Philistines camped at Aphek. The Philistines arrayed themselves against Israel, and as the battle spread, Israel was defeated by the Philistines, who struck down about 4,000 men on the battlefield. When the troops returned, the elders asked, "Why has the Lord brought defeat on us before the Philistines today? Let us bring the ark of the covenant of the Lord from Shiloh, so that it may go with us to save us from the hand of the enemies." So the people sent men to Shiloh. They brought back the ark of the covenant of the Lord of hosts, who sits enthroned between the cherubim. And the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, were there with the ark of the covenant of God. When the ark of the covenant entered the camp, all the Israelites raised such a great shout that the ground shook. Robin, they did a lot of hooting. They did a lot of hollering. They did cartwheels. They did wagon wheels. They did bicycle. I mean, they made a great shout. The ground shook. And then what happened? This is going on to the 17th verse. Well, what happened was, I'm doing great tonight, Robin. What happened, ladies and gentlemen, was that Israel was defeated. They were defeated. The shouting and the presumption of bringing the ark down. We've got the ark. We got the power. We got this and that. And they jumped and they shouted. And 30,000 men were killed that day. And there was a messenger that ran from the battle back to Shiloh and gave the news to Eli the priest. And when Eli the priest asked him what happened, he said, we were defeated, and your two sons, Hophni and Phinehas, are dead, and the ark had been captured. And when Eli heard those words, he fell over backwards. I guess his neck broke and he was dead. And one of the sons' wives was expecting and very near delivery, and it just induced labor, and she gave birth, and she passed away in childbirth. But before she did, she named that child Ichabod, which means the glory has departed. So just wanted to go through that scripture. But I did want to point out that just because there's a lot of demonstration and a lot of hoopla and a lot of turning up the volume and all of these things, that wasn't enough to ensure victory. So we'll just leave that right there. Robin, since I have you on, you get to be witness to this. I said yesterday on the program, or last night on the program, that tonight we would make a very special announcement concerning Solid Rock. And so here is the very special announcement concerning Solid Rock. Sometime over the weekend, probably tomorrow. I'm hedging myself a little bit, Robin, because technical things can pop in, can't they, sometimes?
Yeah.
But we will be releasing the first of a 4-part, basically documentary type series regarding Solid Rock. To tell just some transparent history. This is something that we've been working on for a couple of months now. It was a while back. I won't go through all those details, but I was in a couple of conversations that I knew that all this information that had been coming unsolicited, the time was that, okay, we're gonna tackle this. We're gonna deal with it. 2 days later, the company that I was doing some work for, great relationship, just decided they were going to leave Cincinnati. And it's like, okay, Lord, I guess we're doing this full time. And as I perceived it and got some counsel from some very good friends, just became assured that no, this isn't the only thing that we do, but it was a big, big, big assignment. And so we took it on. And so with that being said, in the description, they're on YouTube, ohioforfreedom@gmail.com, at PayPal, ohioforfreedom@gmail.com, Zelle. If you'd like to support this work, if you think that it's important, we need it, and the Lord will provide. If He'd like for you to be a part of that, it is certainly appreciated. But tomorrow, and Robin, jump in. You can even jump in over my announcements if you want to, but tomorrow.
You go ahead. You're doing good.
I'm
You're
doing
doing good.
okay. I'm still a little bit rattled, man. When you turn on it, wait, that was working 5 minutes ago. It was kind of weird, but that happens, you know.
Yeah.
And then if you yell at your camera guy, you're yelling at yourself, and then people think you're crazy. And then the 911 show, and you don't want to go there. You don't want to go there. So, but I want to say this in all candor and all seriousness. It's it's a very serious series. And we have divided the presentation into 4 parts. And before I tell you what those 4 parts are, I will tell you that just half an hour before the program, I received an email. And it was, Robin, I think you probably get emails like this from some time. And this is what the email said. When you make the announcement tomorrow, are you going to talk about Lawrence Bishop Sr.? And I didn't know if I was being trolled. Maybe I was being trolled. Because my inbox is going crazy. And I emailed back, do you think that would be important? Because a troll is just, they're going to like do a hit and run. But I got a response back that says, I am one of his victims. Just wanted to say that. That's a fact. And so we're going to release this. I believe that we've done our due diligence. The whistleblower doors are open. We don't, not just like Robin can tell you, and I can attest it about Robin. She's really good at cross-referencing, double fact-checking, does not just run out with stuff that you think maybe, or here, let's just say this and see what happens. And that's the way we operate here also. And I will tell you that the first segment will deal with financial irregularities and unanswered questions. Along with that, some severe prophetic abuse, spiritual abuse. We're going to detail that, and that will be released, if not tomorrow night, I believe it will, but then like 3 o'clock in the morning on Saturday morning, but it's ready to go. The next installment will deal with yes. Robin, do you say essay on your program? Is that how you say it? Essay?
I usually just say it, but I have said essay. Yes, I have.
Okay. Well, on YouTube, you can say sexual, and then you can also say abuse, but just for some reason, we're a little careful, so we like to say essay. But unfortunately, yes, we're going to deal with the essay. You will hear from victim Z. You will see some on-camera testimony. And unfortunately, there's a lot there. There appears to be a lot there. There's an awful lot there. And so that will be dealt with. And I'm sorry for the inconvenient or this may be traumatic for people involved. I understand that because I've been there. Okay. I was 7 years escaped from the Pentecostal cult. I am Pentecostal charismatic, but I was 7 years escaped from the Pentecostal cult that my first church had become, that I was a new Christian in, and was summoned to a trial where my first pastor was convicted of 1 count of rape, 9 counts of sexual battery. So I understand that. The third segment will deal with decades of family cover-up. Decades of family cover-up. I'll say it again. I don't know why I'm saying it again, Robin. Decades of the family involved in cover-up of aforementioned, previously mentioned things. And then the final segment, well, I say the fourth segment, I don't know that it'll be final, but the fourth segment will deal with the national connections and how this is connected and interrelated all over the country. Because the Solid Rock Chronicles is what we've called the series. It's not just about Solid Rock. It is about Solid Rock. It is about the people involved, but it's this case is, Robin, it's emblematic of everything that you cover on Megamaniacs. But I could start, you and I could just start listing the all over the country. And so I say this, and I don't want to be rude to my guest, but I'm trying to, I want to say this. You got little again, Ron. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? There you are. Okay. I want to show what this is. Already, this was sent to me from a whistleblower. And this was sent to the whistleblower like in the last 24 hours. Yo, tell your crazy, insane wife to keep my grandmother's name out of her mouth. If I ever see you, I blotted out the name, ever, I swear on everything I love, it will not be something you want, lame boy. Keep playing if you want. See, if I'm playing, I'ma hold you accountable for her, lame boy. And then this was the texter's summation. This is probably Darlene's daughter, Julie, and her son-in-law, Leroy's son, Judy, or Ryder. They signed off Darlene's grand thug. You know what's interesting, Robin? Do people actually think that metadata doesn't exist? Do they
I
think
don't know what people
forensics
think.
doesn't exist? This guy's got a
Well,
lame.
yeah.
Go ahead. Yes, ma'am. Please talk. I've
Well,
been
but
talking.
I think sometimes people get so accustomed to getting away with things, or things always kind of working out in their favor, that they don't think the rules are apply to them anymore, or if they do, they'll find a way around them.
Yeah. Well, it's worked so far, but I want to say this equivocally. Yes, I've spoken to law enforcement. The 2 counties primarily are Butler County and Warren County. And I just want to assure anybody that is a lame boy, thug boy, grandma's boy, any kind of boy or girl, that should any testifier, whistleblower, anybody be harassed. I could show you police reports. Maybe we will, but they're not time for that right now, of previous behavior. It ain't gonna be tolerated. And you'll go to jail. You go to jail. You will not bully, you will not intimidate, you will not harass, and your attempts will not happen in secrecy and in privacy. Robin, I'm sorry, I didn't know that I'd be talking this way, but I just want to say, let the truth come out. And I had a really nice conversation with someone today. We disagree on some things, but it was cordial. They made their point pretty strongly. I made my point pretty strongly, but it was cordial. It ended very, very, very well. And the reason that I'm saying that is, in a normal conversation, people can't even conceive that somebody would send a text like that or stop somebody in a parking lot and menace and threaten them. But folks, it does happen. And so, but we will not be deterred. We will not slow down, and we'll simply do our job. But Robin, I'm trying to give a good segue into, you're our special guest, and I've been a very, very rude host. But I just want to say, someone said to me, well, there's always two sides to every story. I want to put out an absolute warm welcome invitation. If any of the leadership from Solid Rock would like to come on the program and tell their version of events, you are more than welcome. Probably don't want to do it here. Probably would have to meet you in a very public place, very well lit, okay, with lots of witnesses, but would be very happy to do that. And if we're wrong about something, you can show me I'm wrong about something, more than happy to. Robin, you have some breaking news. Would you care to go there now, ma'am?
Sure. So, it must have been what we're in August now. So,
Yeah,
it was probably just about a month ago. After the black mold situation at Valor and our investigation into that and some other issues that have been covered on Megamaniacs, um, I started working on a formal complaint to ABHE, who is the accreditation body for Valor Christian College.
right.
And they basically had 30 days to respond to the complaint. And I'm not the only one that actually made a complaint. Someone else also sent in a formal complaint, but it's a rather lengthy process because you have to format it correctly. You have to provide the information in a separate attachment that has cover sheets and documentation of what is being listed. And so it's pretty time consuming, but we did hear back that they've accepted the information that I've sent in, and that they will be informing Valor actually tomorrow that
Tomorrow.
they are going to be investigated for all of the claims that were in my report.
Gotcha. And as we know it, can we just talk about what some of the concerns are? And are we able to mention David and all that so that people understand?
I think we can mention David, who David actually, my program on Tuesday was a sworn notarized affidavit that he submitted about his outlining his experiences in the 3 months that he was at Valor Christian College.
Yeah,
And many of his concerns are things that were in the report that either that have happened to other people, unfortunately, not just him, but his affidavit really goes into not only what he experienced and witnessed while he was at Valor, but also some behind the scenes personal information, because he um, he is very close with the president of Valor Christian College. And this Scott Camp is the president. He has been like a father to David. And unfortunately, David had to say that integrity and doing the right thing and standing up for what is right is it supersedes even a relationship with someone that would be that close.
Yeah.
Because he was giving him warnings, he was telling him, about his personal situation,
Yeah.
in regards to his pay. And I think we're going to discuss that because it was a
Yeah.
complete bait and switch
Yeah.
situation once he moved. But along with, so his complaint, I would guess, kind of focuses on those things, and then everything that he uncovered
Yeah.
when he was investigating the whole policies and procedures and handbook of valor, and basically what their risk was at being investigated and possibly losing their accreditation.
Right. So I'm going to ask just a series of questions, and if you can just give a real quick answer for the benefit of people that may not be familiar. Valor Christian College is associated with who and what church?
World Harvest Church, it's under that umbrella, and Rod Parsley is the chancellor, and his daughter has a role also at the college.
Okay. And David Baumgardner, that we discussed this at 4:30 in the morning on Saturday, but he signed an affidavit to everything that that we're talking about. But let's get to the issues about accreditation. It's not just somebody, or he's just disgruntled, it didn't work out. That's not the case. What are, as you understand it, what are the central few points that would cause the continuation of accreditation for Valor Christian College? What are the concerns there that might cause them, depending on the ruling, for that accreditation to slip away?
Well, one of the main concerns, and I actually experienced this directly when I was there, because I was a part of the process when they got their accreditation for the bachelor's degree. I was the human resources director.
Right.
So the one of the core and main issues is that Valor should be operating completely separate from the church. So the church should have zero control over who is hired, how they do their classes, what their handbook looks like. Their finances. Should not have any dealings in those. And Rod makes all of the decisions, and Ashton Parsley, they make all of the decisions. And it was outlined in my complaint when I worked there during this process. I was told that if I was asked by ABHE, who uh, ran the college, that I was to lie if they ask if it was Rod and Ashton Parsley, or if the church had anything to do with running the college. I was
Okay.
told to lie.
So we're not talking about how I think something just should be run, or you think something should be run, or like differences of opinion. The standards necessary for accreditation, those standards stipulate that the commingling of funds and the commingling, if you will, of leadership, that's against accreditation standards. Am I understanding that right?
Correct.
As you understand
That's
it?
right. That's right. That's
Are there any
absolutely right.
are there any board members that are on the board of Valor that are also on the board of World Harvest?
Well, Ashton Parsley is on the board of Valor Christian College. And everyone that is appointed in the positions on the board are all Rod Parsley sycophants.
And so that's ain't supposed to be that way, right? According to accreditation standards,
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
could that
I
cause
mean,
them
you
to
can't,
lose?
it has to be and just like the board, the board at World Harvest Church, there is one on paper, but it doesn't really exist, because what Rod Parsley wants, Rod Parsley gets. So,
Yeah.
that it doesn't really matter. But no, there are ethical issues all over the place just with those two things. And it is vehemently against the ABHE standards for accreditation.
Yeah, and I want to get to this warehouse issue in just a moment, but they brought in a new president who called me earlier in the year, and I accepted his apology, and you mentioned that on your program last night. But they brought in a new president who is, certainly qualified and so forth. But I just got to ask, does Scott Camp actually run the college?
Oh, no, no, no. I mean, everything is a facade and everything is smoke and mirrors. That's how everything is ran there.
I was of the opinion when he was considering that. I said, I hope you're not walking into Hotel Parsley, but that seems to be the case. Well, there's so much. Let's just keep it simple. Is there any? I want to talk about the warehouse, but is there anything else that is like a major, major, major red flag concerning the continuation of being able to keep their accreditation, besides the control that Parsley and the church has over the college? Is there anything else that you?
Well, the black mold is an issue and it really needs to be investigated, and a real inspection actually be done, not just somebody walking through and kind of peeking their head around corners. Ashton Parsley having sleeping with students at Valor Christian College. That is also a huge issue. And another issue is the slave labor of the work study students. So them being pulled out of class to the extent that they live on campus, they're supposed to be going to classes in person, but if they work directly for the Parsleys in a work study
Yes,
capacity, then
yes.
the Parsleys needs come above everything. And so they will force these students to take their classes online, even though they're supposed to be going in person.
Okay, so basically, Parsley uses the work study, which is ostensibly or supposed to be a way to kind of pay for your college if you don't have a lot of money. So students agree to do work, but Parsley uses them basically like house servants and just personal errand boys and errand girls for people that
Correct.
aren't aware. Is that correct?
That's right.
Like calling them up at 10:30, 11. Hey, I need some McDonald's or some other kind of junk food, all kind of things. Robin, I want to get to this warehouse thing, but on my thumbnail, you got to obey your thumbnail. We used the took off on the parody of the the Rodteous Bishopstones, because Parsley and the Darlene Bishop, they're pretty tight, correct?
Yeah. Well, Darlene Bishop is Ashton Parsley's godmother.
Right.
Yeah.
And so there's a real tight relation. I wanted to just play a real short clip just to get because if I got media clips in the folder, you got to play them or you didn't do your job. But can
I
we
know.
talk
I
about?
forgot some. I forgot some on Tuesday.
All right. But I just want to kind of demonstrate. I want to show people why I chose that thumbnail. And by the way, I'm not recommending anybody watch Righteous Gemstones. I'd heard about it, stumbled onto it. It's extremely funny. It's extremely real to life, but it's got some nasty stuff. So I had to fast forward through several parts, and I got one episode. I think I get it for me personally. So do not turn your kids loose on that. But let me just play this clip, Robin, if you don't mind.
We want to pray for her.
Wait
and we also want to pray for Miss Darlene Bishop.
See, StreamYards.
For Miss Dar.
I'm going to do this again. I don't know what this is doing, Robin. This is not my tech night. There we go.
Because she called me yesterday afternoon and I prayed with her.
From
she
Sunday
was
morning.
Weeping. Now, I'm not used to Darlene weeping unless she's deep in prayer.
Yeah.
Now, if she's deep in prayer, she'll be wailing like you think someone's dying. She called me and she was weeping. I'll not tell you the reason why. It was kind of a pastor to pastor thing, and I ministered to her. But I learned this morning that soon after that, she had to be taken to the hospital. And so they're looking about her, and we're praying for you, Darlene. We could not love you more. We will never love you less. You are the godmother of my beautiful children, and we love you and Phil and Solid Rock Church with all of our hearts. So we just speak healing to both of you.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm glad that Rod Parsley prayed for Darlene. But would you just like to comment on that? Anything else, Robin? I mean, they're pretty tight, aren't they?
They're definitely tight, but it's, could Rod, give God some credit at some point? I mean, it's like he's always taking credit for everything, and that's more of a rhetorical question, but I have to roll my eyes almost every time I listen to him speak.
Yeah. So maybe I'm doing like a Waffle House omelet all over the place, but I wanted to play that to show, and we're going to show more of a connection between the righteous Bishopstones and the unrighteous Parsley Stones. I'm going to show some video, Robin, of Rod Parsley a couple of years ago at Solid Rock, and it's preaching for Darlene, and it's really kind of an eye opener. So that's in the queue. But getting back to Valor Christian College, accreditation is very, very much in jeopardy. They're being investigated. Let me ask you this. During your tenure there, was Valor ever investigated in the manner in which the letter from ABHE or whoever that is, were they ever investigated like that before?
Oh no, not to my knowledge. They now I think that they ABHE looked into some things when they had several presidents of the college that left. It's customary for ABHE to reach out to them and find out, what happened, and ask. I don't know how many questions, but they definitely talk to them about their experience and why they left and that sort of thing.
Okay. But this, where a complaint was filed, they take the 30 days and they get back and they say, yes, we're going to look at that. That's not to be taken lightly, right? I mean, that's actually
Right.
pretty serious. I
Oh,
mean,
oh yeah. And they're I don't know what the investigation actually looks like. I don't know how strenuous it is, or if, what proof they have to give to refute the complaints that are sent in. But I believe that ABHE will definitely do their due diligence, and I don't know if Valor's going to be able to, or Rod is going to be able to save them from this one.
and if they lost their accreditation, that's, well, who knows? Okay. I'm going to pull up.
Well, they'd lose federal funding if they lost their accreditation.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And qualification for Pell Grants and all of that stuff.
Yeah. Everything would go away.
So the place would collapse. Pretty serious stuff. I'm going to bring up a visual that you won't be able to see because it's too small, but you used it last night. But I just want to say, folks, this is a signed affidavit. And Robin, I would like to really drill down on, okay, you can't see it anyway, it's too small, but folks, we just proved that it's there. Okay. So you can replay the video with a microscope and see it. Talk about what this warehouse thing. This is just unbelievable to me. Go ahead.
So, so the warehouse for World Harvest Church is actually their original building that was World Harvest Church before they built the big building. Okay. And it's on Wright Road, and they have the Bibles and all of their merchandise. And, you send in a certain amount of money, you get this, gift. Uh, if you want to
Do,
call it that.
do they have a whole lot of like DVDs that nobody has DVD players to play them with, but they
Oh,
can buy it?
and they burned them there. So Dolly Deegan, who was on my podcast, um, she was the manager of the warehouse, and they would run all of those. But basically, all they do is they change the artwork, but the what's on there is the same as something they did, 10 years ago.
So they take the artwork that was on the original 8-track tape, and then once it's transferred to the cassette, then they transfer that to the DVD that nobody has a DVD player to. So anyway, that's where they do their merchandise and their books and all of that. And so that's what that warehouse is dedicated. That's what it's there for. They do printing and stuff like
They
that.
have a print shop. Yeah, yeah. And
So
all
it's
the mailers, so all of the mail that people get for giving to Rod Parsley, that all comes from the warehouse. So
is that where
uh,
the fake Chinese prayer cloths come from?
correct. The
Okay.
China cloths are definitely stored at the warehouse. But I will tell you, at least when Dolly was there, her and the other people that were working in the warehouse, they would actually pray over those prayer cloths, but they were not prayed over by Rod Parsley like he claims.
Right. But that's what that
I
warehouse is.
digress.
Okay. So there's this warehouse, and yes, some very sweet. Dolly is, oh my goodness, just such a sweet, dear mother in the Lord. She's okay. So not that, yeah. But that's what the warehouse is for.
Yeah.
What happened to the warehouse recently? Because I think people want to
So
know.
yeah, so when the president Scott Camp was actually away, Andrew Certain, who is the current CFO. He used to be the CFO and then left, and now he is back. And they called a board meeting with the board members of Valor Christian College and decided that the church, World Harvest Church, was going to sell the warehouse to Valor, so it would then be on their books for the $8,000 to $9,000 mortgage payment per month, so that they could free up some funds at World Harvest Church.
Okay. Were any of those people in that meeting, like people that serve both on the board of Valor and the board of World Harvest?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So let me restate this. I'm gonna boil it down to redneck for myself because I majored in redneck in college, advanced redneck studies. So, but I just want to make sure I got this. Scott Camp is the new president, but he's out of the country. A special board meeting for Valor is called, and somebody presents the idea that the warehouse that has always sold Rod's parts, his books and tapes and CDs and so forth, that the college is now going to buy the warehouse, and they're going to have to pay to World Harvest $8,000, $9,000 a month. Am I right so far?
That's right.
So did they ask World Harvest if they wanted to sell it, or did World Harvest already say, hey, we want you to buy it? Or is it the same people making, having a conversation from one side of their head to the other?
Well, I mean, I wasn't there, but based on my experience, I believe that the decision was made for them, and they were told that they are going to be purchasing this warehouse, and there was not a whole lot of rhetoric back and forth on whether that was a good idea. Why would Valor buy this warehouse that they don't even utilize really? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's robbing Peter to pay Paul, basically. I mean,
Well,
it's
yeah.
the same organization.
Who is in the warehouse now? Valor students doing stuff, or the same old people doing Rod Parsley stuff? Has
Well,
the day-to-day operations of the warehouse changed at all?
no. And it's predominantly I would say 95% of what goes on at that warehouse is related to World Harvest Church.
So, and it was done behind the back of the president. So
Correct.
the new president who's going to turn things around is out of the country, and he comes back to find out that, oh, guess what? Your college that you're turning around has another $8,000 to $9,000 a month that they got to pay out for a building that they don't even have access to. I mean, am I hearing that about right?
You're hearing that correct.
So if the Mr. or the Mrs. is on business away for a week, ain't it kind of like coming home to find out, guess what, dear? Now you get to pay $8,000 a month to stay in your bedroom that was already your bedroom. This is a pretty big deal, isn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's going to raise even more questions when you talk about this investigation with the accreditation body. They're going to have a lot of questions about that too, I'm sure.
Did Valor Christian College need Rod Parsley's warehouse that they can't even use?
No.
So is it really just, I mean, it just looks to me, but isn't it really just like a paper transaction to funnel money into a swirling down into bankruptcy, World Harvest Church?
That's what it appears to be. That would be my educated guess. Yes.
Welcome to Hotel Parsleyfornia, guys. That's it's so okay. I feel like that's breaking news, Robin.
Yeah.
If you've sent your, at least one boy to college. Maybe I can't keep, but like if you were sending your kid to Valor and you were hearing about accreditation in jeopardy and buying a warehouse that you can't afford, that you don't need, and that you don't even have access to keep, I mean, would parents feel very confident even sending their student there?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't as a parent, but we also have to realize that a lot of the kids that are ending up at Valor have been a part of a CHN church. And so they may have likely been raised, hearing this stuff all their life, and it's just normal for things to operate this way. And I think a lot of these CHN churches and CHN pastors, they're completely blind, and they believe that this is a good place. They're going to get a good education, but I think some of them know how twisted it is over there too, and they just send these kids because they get a kickback. These CHN pastors, if
Oh, that's
they
right.
send kids to Valor, they get a kickback for that.
Oh my goodness. So all these CHN pastors, the members of the Rod Parsley cult, maybe not all of them, but the ones that went through the induction where they swore an oath to Rod Parsley, that's who I'm talking about especially. So did like Valor send out like a great big press release? Guess what? We bought a warehouse. Now we own a warehouse.
Oh,
Or
no,
is it,
no. I'm sure that they were sweating bullets to know that we found out about that. I'm sure. Yeah.
does Ashton Parsley want the public? Does Rod Parsley want the public to know that when his new president, who he love bombed pretty good, I guess, with like a $70,000 Toyota Sequoia or
Oh,
some kind of fucking,
no, that Honda Pilot that was fully
ooh, I love
loaded.
them
Honda
pilots.
Pilot fully
I
loaded.
love,
Yeah.
man, I was happy
And I
with my,
think 65 to $70,000 car
okay,
because
good love
it
bomb.
came with all the bells and whistles. Yeah,
Okay.
they got that car for the new president. Yeah.
But does Rod Parsley, who got the Honda Pilot love bomb car for Scott Camp, Does he want the rest of the world to know, because he ministers all over the world, does he want them to know that in the dead of night, basically when his brand new president is out of the country, they snuck a deal in on him and saddled the Valor Christian College with a $9,000 a month note for something they don't need and don't even seem to have access to? Does Rod Parsley want the world to know that? Did he make a television commercial announcing this big and bold?
No.
Do you think he wanted to keep it?
You know, they're going to keep getting exposed. You know, I believe that the Lord continues to give opportunities, and if you continue to turn your back, then the exposure and the pain, if you will, continues to get worse.
Well, folks, that's our breaking news. Is it ABHE? Is that what they're called? I just read it, but I'm really tired.
That's right.
So ABHE is investigating Valor Christian College. Certainly looks like accreditation status is certainly in jeopardy. The investigation will have to play out. And other breaking news is a secret deal to buy the warehouse that the new president didn't even know about. Robin, we won't going to be here all, but so getting back to the Rodteous Bishopstones, can we go through just a couple of clips before I let you go, where we will see Rod Parsley and Darlene in action? And let me just do this here. Thank you. All right, so this is from about 2 years ago. There's a lot of things about this, and feel free to point them out, Robin, but this is Darlene on a Sunday night, I think in 2022 or 23, about November-ish, introducing Mr. Parsley.
Look what God has done. Let's praise God for this gift that God has given this generation. I said he is a gift that God gave this generation, and we need to make him know that we appreciate all that God has done. God bless.
Robin, did you know that Rod is a gift to this generation? Did you know that?
Oh, no, I was not aware.
Okay. Well, Darlene,
the gift that keeps on giving, and not in a good way.
Okay.
Let you come here,
we're
baby.
just going to go through this. Now, can I comment on this?
Oh, there's Theo bringing his stuff. There's Theo bringing all Rod's stuff because he can't bear to carry his own Bible.
Can you? There's going to be people that are seeing this for the first time. Can we just real quickly explain what they're looking at when they see this young man? His name is Theo. Explain, what is this? What
so
just happened there?
Theo was a student at Valor Christian College. I believe he has graduated, but he was a work study student. He was promoted, to be the armor bearer and or assistant to Rod Parsley. So he's going to be the one that basically is Rod Parsley's shadow. He's going to follow behind him. He's going to carry his Bible, his drinks, whatever Rod needs him to carry. He's going to likely be the one that is laying out Rod Parsley's clothes, running his bath water, getting, his snacks, going and picking up his dry cleaning and prescriptions for him, picking up sticks out of his front yard, or maybe dandelions too, because Rod doesn't like yellow.
Hemorrhoid
that's the kind of work there he's doing.
Is hemorrhoid cream on the table as far as duties go?
Absolutely. Sure.
Because we've actually spoke to someone, a female, that was charged with buying Rod Parsley's hemorrhoid cream. Okay, I just wanted to point this out, that's what's happening. Oh, and by the way, I spoke with someone that was in that service, and their jaw just about hit at one time. Theo, this young man, leaned over and actually tied Rod Parsley's shoe. But okay, I
Oh,
want to
yes.
I want to get to And Robin, is that just a coincidence that's, Parsley's got this kind of woolenish sort of lumberjack kind of shirt on and Theo's got something of the same? Is that like coordinated, or is that just the thing 2 years ago where everybody just shows up in a lumberjack kind of shirt?
No, Rod is very methodical about everything that he does, even down to the way that he dresses. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So the guy that ties his shoes, if Rod's wearing the lumberjack shirt, he has to wear a lumberjack. Okay, I'm gonna get through.
Just keep it. Come on, don't leave me. No, don't ever leave me.
Praise your name.
Don't ever leave me. I thought I had my kids here. Silence is the language of...
Okay, Robin, I'll tell you what I'm going through. I won't go through as much of this as I had. But did you notice that he looked at the orchestra and he said, "Don't leave me. Don't ever leave me." Could you explain to the audience what that actually means?
I'm not sure. I would, I'm not sure what he meant by that. I don't know if he was, speaking to Theo, because he seemed to kind of be out of the shot a little bit. That would be my guess, is that's what he meant by that.
It could be. My take is that I believe he was speaking to the musicians, because I don't think this guy can operate without music behind him. That's what I'm saying. If he
Oh,
doesn't have
okay.
those sincere worshipers, those sincere people there helping to usher in the presence of God, he folds up like a cheap tent. But I'll keep going.
Defeat. Shouting is the language of victory. Now get victory up in here.
Get victory up in here.
Shake it out. Come on. Come on. It's higher than that. It's higher than that.
Robin, it's higher than that. Lift it up, shake it out. Lift it up, shake it out. It's higher than that. You know what this
Oh,
is
the
reminding?
theatrics.
I'm blindsiding you with this clip. I read that clip from read that section from 1 Samuel 4. They did a lot of shouting. It shook the ground. That's what okay. Let me.
Clapping is the language of authority. Take it now. Take authority now. Every spirit, every principality, every power, every demon spirit, every sickness, every disease, every pain, every malady, every malfunction.
What is Theo doing behind him? Can you just explain that to the audience? I just want to point that out. What's
Well,
actually happening there?
Yeah, Theo is, I mean, I don't know if you saw when they showed the front row of the crowd, but Megan, who was my boss, she was
Yeah.
there in that front row, and there was someone else that worked there. So when you are with him in these situations, you are required to go along with the theatrics. So you're yelling and hollering and hooping and throwing your arms in the air and whatever to it's really just to please Rod, so that you don't get yelled at after the service that you weren't lively enough, or trying to usher in the presence of God.
This is the most bizarre, sickening thing. Well, one of the most. And as we go through this, and I'm only going to do one more clip, Robin, so you get to eat on time and all of that stuff. But if Parsley takes 5 steps to the right, this guy goes 5 steps in that direction. If Parsley goes this, it's like crazy. I know it's vulgar, but it makes me wonder, like, if Parsley has to go to the restroom, who's responsible for the paperwork? We'll
On 3, shout it out. 1,
shout it out.
2, 1, 2, 3.
Now, Robin, I don't think you may not have seen this before. I just got to say, I'm an old guy. I'm 64. I got gray hair. But Parsley would have been about this age a couple years ago. And he's literally, it's like, does he think he's is like open mic night at a cheap bar? Or he's like, thinks he's like Elvis or something? Because he's like 1, 2, and then you watch the microphone. Let's do this, Robin. Come on, come on. We got to, let's just come on, bring it. Well, no, watch this. This is disgusting to me. But this is what he calls Pentecost.
Out. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Watch the mic now. Watch the hand. You see that? Robin, come on. Shout it out. Lift it up. Authority.
Listen, you gotta bow down and kiss his pinky ring. You know what I'm saying?
I want to get to this. I'm going to let just a little bit more of this play, then we'll get
dig deeper, push harder.
He's going to say, like, dig deeper, push harder, go farther, get fatter, get skinny. I mean, anyway, let's
dig deeper, push harder, shout louder, clap with more authority.
Oh, he can dance. I can dance. Really, with the flow. Oh, look at this.
Take authority in your domain. Dominion in your domain. Authority in your domain. Running is the language of freedom.
Okay, Robin, I just got to say this. I'm Pentecostal charismatic, and that is so embarrassing to me.
Yeah.
Is it embarrassing to you?
Yeah. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed for him. But this is the theatrics, and some people seem to eat it up.
That was a full crowd that night. Of course, I guess people from World Harvest, a lot of people would be expected to be there and pack the room out. You know what? Are you good for like 10 more minutes? I'm moving kind of slow because you got like 10 more minutes? Can I keep you for just a little bit?
I got a couple more, yeah.
Okay. Here's what I'll do. Let's get to the clip one. Here we go. I'm going to play this.
All right, get this now. Now, you know I love you, and I'm not being forward. Are you with me? I'm going to do what the Holy Ghost said for me to do, because I want to illustrate what the angels are about to do. You ready? They're about to pick you up, and they're about to remove you out of every current conflict.
Was moving her mouth to his words. Did you notice that, Everett?
Wait. Is she? Yes. I'm famous for backing up. And there was Theo right there to grab the mic on cue. But let's see.
Watch what the angels are about to do.
Watch her mouth.
You ready?
When he picks her up.
Wait, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He starts talking.
Say it again.
Sorry. Watch her mouth when he starts talking after he picks her up.
Oh man, that would make it sound like
they're about to pick you up, and they're about to remove you out of every current conflict and put you down.
I see what you're talking about. Did he just do a Juanita Bynum there? Like
Oh
when
yeah.
she picked up Ashton and threw her on the. I just want to point out, folks, you got two corrupt, wicked family businesses, and Rod Parsley is doing the same theatrics. Maybe he picked up a thing or two from Juanita Bynum. But what kind of shape is Rod Parsley in right now as far as his organization? It's kind of a rhetorical question, but
I mean,
what kind of shape?
it's not very good shape. I'd say probably the worst that it's been in his tenure.
And he just lifted up Darlene Bishop and lifted her out of her confrontation, or took her from the, brought her in over the Red Sea, and now she's in the Promised Land, and there was angels involved there too. But the fact is, both them churches are in a real world of hurt right now. And what he spoke prophetically with all kinds of authority, I don't know about integrity, but he certainly said it dramatically. Has any of that stuff happened, Robin?
No. And in fact, I would say it appears that everything has really gotten worse for Darlene and her church, and things are headed the same way for him.
It just kind of reminds me of the scripture that we read. It's still playing out, but they had plenty of hoopla, and there were sincere people there. I've talked to some people that were there in that service today that are good, dear, sweet people. Some of them didn't have a choice. Some of them didn't have a choice. They had to be there. But yep. Robin, we started late. It was my fault with the tech stuff and whatnot, but I'm feeling kind of the effects of a busy day or so. Do you have anything special coming up that you'd like to announce, or at least give us anything you want to say about your program before we let you go and take care of your family?
I would just say that I have some interviews coming up that I think, I don't want to give too much away, but I think people will not only be shocked by who the people are, but it's going to actually be some things that we haven't heard yet.
And that's coming up shortly. You can't give us a date or anything like that. So in other words, people need to stay tuned to Mega Maniacs, because it keeps coming. Okay. Robin, I feel like I'm going to sleep like a baby tonight, but I haven't done that for a while. So if I'm a little off my game or whatever, thank you for making up the difference and picking up the slack. We really appreciate you. So I will put a link in the description to Mega Maniacs there on YouTube. And please say hi to those two boys. And we really appreciate it. I appreciate you. I appreciate your hard work. I appreciate your fearlessness and your tenacity. So
Thank you, Everett. I feel the same way about you.
We're the tenacity twins.
I feel the same about you.
Yeah, you are. All right. Have a good night, and we'll see you soon, Robin. Thank you. Okay, folks, we're going to call that a wrap. Brother John took me to task the other day. And by the way, he looked for Brother John's. I'm going to put that in the description as well. I was able to record a really nice program, interview, discussion with Brother John T. It was a real honor. But he took me to task and said, take some time and let people know how they can support you. Your support is appreciated. We need it. This is what we do. Didn't ask to be here, but we're willing to be here. If you would like to help us, you can use ohioforfreedom@gmail.com, PayPal, ohioforfreedom@gmail.com, Zelle. Very, very much appreciated. Look over the weekend for the release of the first segment of Solid Rock Chronicles. And until next time, God bless you. God bless your family. God bless the state of Ohio, the United States, and thanks to everybody that tunes in from different parts of the world. Good night, y'all.
I hear the sweet